Hey, you're checking out SGU TV. Today's topic is going to be CD8 positive T Cell Maturation. So, first let's talk about what CD8 is first. What is CD8? Alright, well, CD8 would be maybe opposed to something called CD4. Okay, so let's talk about CD4 and CD8. When I think about CD4, I use the rhyme CD4 likes to help more. So that helps me think that this is going to be essentially the development of helper cells, T helper cells. Okay? CD8, when you take an 8 and you write it sideways, makes infinity. And when do we join infinity? When we're dead. So CD8, I like to think about that as a cytotoxic T cells. But when we talk about CD8 plus T cell maturation, even though this is like the main guy for helper and this is the main guy for cytotoxic, well, really, what's happening is that actually both of them are involved when we talk about CD8 positive T cell maturation. So let's go to the next step. It really kind of all starts with APC. Okay, so I'm going to make an APC cell right here, APC. Alright, now when I think about APC, I think about it kind of like a woman. It's a good analogy for this particular concept because it all starts with a woman, right? Who gives birth to the rest of us? Obviously women. So that's cool. There's also this idea over here. We always have these viruses, okay, these little bad guys here. And what happens is that they want to always inject their DNA. And what's going on with the poor ladies at the club? They always got some guy trying to inject some DNA up in there, right? Hey, you know it's true. Also, what can happen is that besides getting DNA injected into them, we can also have this is not really what the virus was really hoping for. He actually got eaten up. It could be through processes such as phagocytosis or macropinocytosis. Somehow this cell got in here and now it's absorbed, and then some of these little pieces are getting expressed onto these molecules. Okay, we're going to talk about exactly what happens with the expression of these molecules. So let's suppose, and it really helps us to make sense of the whole thing if we get a bigger picture first before we head on and down into the CD8 maturation pathway. If the cell is infected in this way, an antigen presenting cell, it could be any cell really, it could be an epithelial cell, it could be a endometrial cell, it could be any type of cell that got invaded by this virus over here, this baddie. And if it gets infected this way, and this DNA is inside starting to take over the machinery of the cell and try to turn into basically a bad guy making factory, right? Then what's going to happen is that it will start to relay a stress signal. And this is done through MHC1. MHC1, I'm going to grab another color over here. MHC1. And if you think about it, that's pretty serious. But what happens if this guy gets eaten up like this? Gets absorbed. Really, the cell does not need to be destroyed. Right? Remember that CD8 is, and we're going to talk about that in a moment, how CD8 is affiliated with this particular pathway. But in this case, right, it just says, oh, there's something weird here. There's something, I have this protein inside of me. Right? It got broken up and it got chopped into its little parts. These are like the little hairs, I guess you could say, and maybe this is like a leg here. Something is strange inside of me, and I think it's something that we need to get rid of. So we got the little hair being presented on this guy over here, and this would be MHC2. Okay. So let's talk about how these interact. Now normally, MHC1, like I said before, is going to react with what? It's going to react with CD8. Why CD8? Because CD8 is going to be killing the cell. The cell has been infected. It's now a zombie making factory. This virus making factory. It's no good. It needs to go. So this thing over here, this APC, is going to combine with this guy over here. And let me use another color. And this will create a CD8 over here. Okay, it's going to be linking up over here. Yeah. MHC1 with the APC and the CD8 is going to come together. What's going to happen in response to that is affiliated with goes on in this pathway over here. So we're going to talk about that. This, by the way, is also known as the first signal. Okay. And if we think about it, right? CD8 is kind of like the guy, but he gives the lady a look, and she gives him a signal. She's like, "Oh, I'm interested in talking to you." She looks back, or she could just not react, not give you a look, and that means basically, you know, don't push up on her. You know, she needs her space, or maybe there's another more interesting guy, or maybe she's got a guy already, or a girl, whatever, or a, was it non-binary? Whatever, you're just not in, or she just doesn't, she's just not that into you. So okay, you just move on. No big deal. Okay, so now we're going to go down this pathway, MHC2, and who's this going to be hanging out with? Well, it's going to be talking to CD4. Right? Got this lady, she talked to a couple different guys, not a problem, right? That's the way it works. CD4. Now, what's going to happen here? Once this guy is talked to by APC, gets all excited, it starts to release this signal over here, right? It releases IL-2 molecules. Okay. This one, after it gets this first signal, what's going to happen is this CD8 cell is going to start to, it has these little receptors in here called IL-2 receptors, IL-2 R for receptor, and it starts to move them to the surface. So I'm going to put this inside a little vesicle coming out the Golgi body. We're going to move it onto the actual surface of the cell. Then it's going to actually, right, come out here. Then it's going to finally be out here, right? These little guys, the second signal, right, are going to come into this spot over here and join up with the IL-2 receptor. IL-2 receptor. Remember, this is created by the second signal. Now, this whole complex over here is going to cause the CD8 and the APC to start to fuse together. Okay? Okay, first he got rejected, but you know, he kept at it, and now they're starting to work things out. Okay, maybe this will work out, right? They better invite me when it's time for them to have their, they had the kids and all that, and to the wedding. Whatever. Alright, so let's move on. So we have the APC over here. And we have our CD8. Now what's going to happen is that this lady over here, she's going to start to put out that signal. Okay. Did I say things were going well between APC and CD8? My bad. She changed her mind again. And that helps us to remember, you ever heard the term 86ing? 86ing means rejected, getting rid of. So that helped me to remember CD86 comes into play over here. And once I remember 86, it's pretty easy to remember CD80. Right? 86, 80, right? Just take off the 6, you're good to go. 6 kind of looks like a 0. What happens over here? This is just something that you do have to kind of memorize. You might try to remember it as the guy's 28 years old. Or you might just remember that this whole pathway was involving 2, right? CD 2 times 4 is 8. That's called the rule of 8. 1 times 8 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. And also the 4 is creating the IL-2 molecules, so you can take it out the other way and create 8 the other way. Got our magic numbers here, right? So this guy over here, CD28. The combination of these signals together, which can only happen after both signals, signal 1 and signal 2. Right over here, this is actually signal 2. This one causes a cascade which causes this to happen, and this allows the CD8 molecule to develop and become a mature CD2. And if you think about it, right, can you really be a mature man without having experienced rejection at least once? And that's just a way to remember this little story. So I hope it was helpful. Thanks for checking us out. Alright, that's it. Thanks for checking out SGU TV. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out our other videos.